Here is a quick tip on using the event logger for exporting EDLs once the session has been captured using an ATEM switcher. Currently I'm just operating in offline mode, so I just don't have a network connected, and I've got the control screen up here. What I will do is I'll just show you the statistics or the status of the event logger, and you can see here that I am connected to nothing. I'm connected to nothing. So you can see that it says ATEM's not connected. So subsequently, if I just press N for names, it'll give me a list of all the names of the last ATEM that was connected. This is so that when we create an EDL, we can you can use those names to put into the EDL. Now, normally you would just press U to select upload, and then we'll get all the names that are available as logs, and then we can use the plus and minus keys on the keyboard, as I'm using down here, plus and minus, to be able to step through the different names. Now here I've got an event that we captured, which has got quite a few thousand, 2,500 events in it, I believe. So I want to output this so I can bring it into an editing system. So that's the long one. I'm going to then hit enter, and now it's going to ask me the normal questions about extending the open event. I'm not going to change anything on this. I'm going to use it in the raw format. I'm not going to extend the ending event. So if I just press any key, press no, and press any key, you see now it's exporting the EDL as a text file, and there's a lot of dissolves in there, and it's still exporting it, and still exporting it, still exporting it. Play some thinking music here while this is doing this. I will explain a bit more about what we're looking at here in a moment, but sooner or later this is going to finish, and the EDLs, and CMX EDL can only have 999 events, and because this has got over 2,000, it had to break it down into multiple EDLs. Now, first of all, here's a little tip that you might need to know. I'm using PuTTY on a PC to do this. This doesn't apply to the Mac version because it does it a bit differently. It does a screen capture or telnet capture. Not a telnet capture, a serial capture. Now, if I use PuTTY to scroll to the top here, you'll notice as I'm scrolling, it's scrolling back, but then it stops. And we don't have all the events. Everything's been chopped off above that. Now, the reason for this is because the PuTTY window needs to be set up to take such a big file. I've had some people say that they've missing the first lot of events. And this is a very simple fix. All you do is you right click up at the top on the PuTTY window and wait for the camera to expose, and you'll see there's a thing called change settings. And now in here on my change settings, I'm going to click on behavior, Windows behavior. No, that's not the right one. It's actually just Windows. Just click on Windows, and you'll see lines of scroll back. Make this 9999. That's more than what it'll allow, but that'll get you safe. So just make lines of scroll back 9999, and then click apply. Now that won't change anything in this window because the window's already been set up. But all we have to do is just do what we did again. Okay, and that is we're just going to type U for upload. It's going to get all the files, and we're just going to click through. That's the one we want, so I'm going to hit enter. Just no to these next lot of questions, and then press any key. And now again it's doing the upload, and as I said, these are uploading the event numbers, which you can't see because they're going through too fast. won't go over 999 because it will make it an invalid EDL otherwise. So here you see there, if it gets to 999, it then will revert back to event 1. What it also does, which you'll see in a moment, is it in reverting back to event 1, it creates a whole new header to make the EDL, each EDL legalised. I think this turns into 3 separate EDLs. Okay, so now that it's finished, we can now just grab the scroll bar here, and I'm going to now start scrolling this thing all the way to the top. And you see now we're going a lot further, a lot further, a lot further, a lot further, and oh, gone too far. Here, that's where it started again. So you can see there was where we asked to export the EDL again, and now you can see that we've actually got the full EDL. You'll see up here we have the normal information that's required on EDL. Most of it's superfluous, but unfortunately a 1970s format in this day and age still prevails. You can see the names in the EDL, and they all come from that names file. And so now we've got the whole lot. What we need to do is we need to actually get each one of those 3, I think it is, EDLs. But the only way we can do that is just go to the top, right click, and then wait for it to expose, and go copy all to clipboard. And now we're going to go and open up a notepad. I'm just going to open up a blank notepad here. It's up the top there, and up in here I'm just going to go paste. And now I'm going to bring that back down here again so my arm doesn't get tired out. And now all those events are now in Notepad, including a whole lot of stuff at the top we don't want. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to where my EDL actually starts. This is from the old printout. I've got to find it first. I must have missed it up here somewhere. It's not that far from the top. There it is there. So I'm just going to go and just select everything from here upwards and delete it. So just go all the way to the top. I could do this easier if I had 2 hands, but one of them's holding the iPhone. Okay, so we're just going to delete all that. And so there now is the start of our EDL. But as I said, this EDL is actually in 3 places. And you'll see the first event is event number 1. And as I scroll down, you can see it goes to this 200s, 300s, 400s, 500s, 600s, 700s, 800s, 900s. And we get to 9999. There's 9. Oh, went too far. Let me go back a bit. There's 9999, and you'll see it actually now starts all over again at event 1. There's there, event 1. You'll see the rollover times are still continuous. And now what we're going to see here now is that we've got the title, but here it says block 2, because this is the second of, I think, 3 blocks of thing. So if we now need to get that EDL, all we have to do is just copy and paste that first block out into a text file, a separate text file, and that's our first lot of EDL. I won't do that because I'm only using one hand here again. And of course I can then scroll down. This is block 2 again. I'm going to keep scrolling down. You see we go 1, 2, 300s, 400s, 500s, 600s, 700s, 800s, 900s, and we get to 9999. Oh, overshot. There it is there, and you'll see again it gets to 9999, it goes back to 1, and you'll see now it says block. Well, I've jumped a block there, so we've missed block 2. So anyhow, this is the 3rd block. No, that's correct. It is. I didn't jump a block because the one above is block 2. This is block 3, and of course I then can scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see now it finishes at 208. So if you consider this EDL, this full EDL, is two lots of 999 events, and it ends up with one lot of 208 events. And that's basically how you can extract huge EDLs out of a ATEM live production. And as you know, you just then paste that into its own file, call it .edl, and away you go. So that's as quick as I can do it.